Welcome in everybody to another episode of the Maple Minute Podcast. I'm here with Alex. Alex, one of our scouts from the Maple Minute, big time college coach down in North Idaho last season. He took some time out of his busy schedule this past couple of weeks to break down some people who had a massive summer. The article's up on the Maple Minute. You can find it top Canadian basketball prospects in 2026. All these guys had a massive summer. Can you tell me about like why you wanted to write this article specifically?
Yeah. So, my biggest thing right now is just the 2026 class, in my opinion, is like really like paralleled to like the 2024 class in terms of just like the depth and the level of talent and the amount of guys that I like genuinely believe can play, not just like Canadian ball, like play like, either U sports, but like we have a lot of Division 1 level talent. We have a lot of high major Division 2 level talent. Like we have a lot of guys that are in this class that really have a shot to kind of rival that 2024 class that had 50 Division 1 signings. So, my biggest thing is just, providing the platform for these guys to, be seen as much as possible, kind of keep their name in the media and, knowing how recruitment works as both a college coach and an AU director, it's easy for me to kind of, just like I'm watching these guys anyways for my job. Why don't I help them out as well? If I can't recruit them, I hope someone else can.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we're always hearing about like who's next, and stuff like that. So having a preview like this with 11 prospects on the article heading into the season really gives coach a good grasp of like who they got to keep tabs on. So let's dive into some of the guys that you were writing about. Who do you want to start with?
Uh, I mean, I'll probably start with like my favorite prospect right now is Xavier Blake.
Yeah,
Honestly, like the kid has had a insane rise just in terms of, he's one of those kids that like has gone about his own path in his own way, which, you don't see as much of anymore. And, he's kind of like taken the best opportunities that are going to help his recruitment more than he's going to do, kind of the traditional path of like, what every other kid has done, like transitioning from a great year at Polaris under Ray Kim, going into going into the summer, playing on the UICL instead of playing on the EYBL and being the main guy and being the main ticket for that team. And then parlaying it into, moving to the Phelps School for his senior year. Like just every step of the way, he has chosen his development and what's the best path for him over what a conventional path is. And
yeah,
I mean, like, like in terms of him as a player, like it speaks for itself. He's a 6'5" guard. He's got the playmaking chops at 6'5". He can guard 1, 2, or 3 like comfortably.
yep,
Like his motor is insane, and then just as a scorer, like he literally can score from all 3 levels. His slashing and athleticism has gone through the roof in the last year.
yeah,
Like he,
without a doubt.
just, I know you've written a lot about him too, and I mean, like he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, and like we're close with Sean Blake, Vermont point guard going into a second year. Great kid. And no offense to Sean at all, but like he's a 6'5" guard, like is what Xavier is. Like he's got 3 inches on Sean, maybe 2 inches on a good day. Like it's crazy. And the genes are there, and like they come from like the most humble family. Like whenever I talk to Sean, he's always respectable. And like especially with Xavier's almost too humble. I like to see him kind of get a little bit more gritty. Like he's very almost shy and timid when you talk to him, but on the court, you'd be like, this guy is a killer. Like he's just like
Yeah,
he said, he's a freak athlete. The going to the Phelps School is going to be huge for him, I think. And like you said, like he could have stayed in Canada and kind of been a big fish in a small pond, but he kind of ended up going the AAU route where he's the big fish on a smaller EYCL team. Like still a very prolific team, like loaded roster, but like he was a bigger fish on that team, and the offers show for it. Like he got what 4 offers in 1 week.
yeah. Like, and I mean, like, and we're not talking about like small schools either. Like, like picking up Seton Hall is like, like that shows that you can play at a premier program. And I'll be honest, like Xavier's got the game down, and he has the personality to go play mid-major, high-major basketball like right away or in a like a year after his freshman year, just because like when you have that level of humility, like we talk about it a lot with like prospects and recruitment and stuff, like he's the kind of kid that like it's no nonsense with him. Like he's going to do the work, he's going to go know how to go through an off season, he's going to know how to like deal with the bumps and bruises that come with being a freshman, a sophomore. Like, and that's where I'm really impressed with him as a prospect, is that you could just tell that like he understands the bigger picture of things, and he's not going to sacrifice his own path just for the like the small town clout that a lot of kids want.
Yeah, and like you just said, he's no way. He's the exact opposite of a diva. Like he's not going to come with
Yeah.
any baggage. He's going to come with what he needs to get to the gym. He's going to be in the gym. You're going to ask him there for 7. He's going to be there at 6:30 in a fucking sweat. So it's like
Exactly.
he's exactly what a coach wants. So I'm glad you highlighted him. I want to talk a little bit about Colton Crowdis. I've been high on him for quite a few years now, since his days
Yep.
at United Scholastic back in like when he was junior prep. Like you're just so crafty, so smooth, and like you can tell he just loves the game. Like so, I want to know what you thought about him.
Well, it's funny. So I've coached. Well, I've had like the pleasure to coach Colton for a couple of sessions last summer, and Colton was one of those kids that like I always knew about. I had always seen, but like I'd never like sat down and evaluated him or coached him or like kind of got to see like behind the curtain a little bit. And like I gotta say, like the kid is like we like for context, the team I coached him on, like we had Eternity who just signed D1 at Rice. We had Emmanuel who
Frenchie,
Frenchie was at Panola. Like we had Tony, who was at Jay Addison, signed D2 at Ohio Dominican. Like
Josh,
like it,
Colgate,
and
Josh there too, right?
Colgate Josh. So
Yeah,
you're talking about a kid who's playing with Division 1, Division 2 talent, like loaded up and down the roster, and he just did everything right. He was willing to be like just be a facilitator, willing to just get after it on defense, rebound the hell out of the basketball. Like he literally impact. He finds a way to impact winning at every level, just because and this is without me pointing out that he can score 30 a game whenever he wants. Like that's the hilarious part. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you point to like what a mid-major point guard looks like, in my opinion, like Colton's the definition of it. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's got the athleticism, he's got the pick and roll prowess. He just like he really knows how to get after it, and he knows how to impact every aspect of the game. And if scoring's not there for him, like he's the kind of kid that's always going to find a way back on the floor just because he does everything else so fluidly.
yeah, quick hands on defense, like an absolute table setter. I love everything about his game, especially with the Steve Nash flow he's got going too.
Yeah,
I like
he's
to
never
see.
cutting that hair. I don't think he's ever gonna cut that
He's
hair off.
always got that shaggy dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. But I mean, yeah, like he's tough, and like you said, he played with all those Division 1 players and high level JUCO players, and he was what 2 years younger than them at the time,
yep.
or maybe more. It's ridiculous, man. Like just wise beyond his years, plays with a lot of maturity. I've always been really high on Colton. I know
Yeah,
a few D1 schools have even asked me about him. I don't want to spoil anything, but like I know Boston's had him on a list for a while now.
yep,
Coach Jones there. So like he's definitely on D1 radar. And I think
yeah.
his dad's a great guy and knows the game really well, coached at the college level as well. So it's not like he's coming in kind of blind. Like he knows every move is kind of premeditated for him.
100%. And I just, like him going to Bridgeton Academy for his senior year, like
Yeah.
I'm very big on like the Canadian to US pathway in terms of like, once guys are ready to go, like get lost, go to the US and go prove yourself against, the higher levels of competition.
Mhm.
And I mean, Colton's going to fit right in. Like his game is too fluid. He kind of knows how he strikes the perfect balance between a scorer and a point guard.
Mhm.
And, I think he's going to excel in the knapsack next year. I think he'll be great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the amount of universities that are in that Northeast region, like
Yeah.
stones throw away. Like anyone can come see him at any time. Like practices, people be dropping in at that kind of a school too. Like I saw Brighton or Bridgeton or however you pronounce it this past year
Yeah.
at Rhode Island, and like they had a solid team, like some good
Yeah.
size on the team, and they had a pretty deep bench. One of the deeper benches I saw, but it was like they were like physical, they were strong, they played tough defense, and I feel like Colton can come in there and fit in seamlessly. And he's played a couple games with them this summertime too, right? So
No, exactly.
yeah. And who else do you want to get into, Alex?
Uh so funny enough, I gotta give Isaiah Olan Loyo. I always screw this last name up,
Yeah.
but like so I've watched Isaiah for the last 2 summers, and he continues to get better, and he's one of the quieter names in the 2026 class that I really want to see like get some more notoriety. Like he's got some good Division 1 interests. I've talked to a few schools. I know the one that like is big as FDU for him, and he like sneaky athleticism, great striking a balance again between being a point guard and being a scorer, like really slithery handle, like really has like all of the like every aspect of a Division 1 point guard's game. And he doesn't get as much notoriety like in the city, and I think he needs to start getting that kind of level of notoriety just because he's got all of the tools to be a successful Division 1 prospect, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's played on some like not like lower level in a sense. They're not EYBL or like Under Armour circuit teams. Like Elite Six is Adidas league, like, but it's
Yeah.
Like he plays like RWI. Sometimes he bops around for runs for them too. So
Yep.
he is kind of like getting it through the mud right now. And he's a guy that's until you brought him up, I haven't heard too much about him. So
Yeah.
it's great to read that piece about him and kind of dive into some more film. When I was looking for pictures for the graphic, I was just kind of grinding this film. I was like, this kid is pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, no, it was funny, man. Last summer, like I kind of knew he had a little bit of that it factor. So we were down for the live period in July at Spooky Nook, and he just comes up on the fast break and just punches it on a kid. And like he just kind of like walks away like it's a normal day, and I'm like, I gotta like start watching you a little bit more. I'm like, there's no way, like, and like just like Brampton City Prep has done a phenomenal job with him in terms of giving him the leash to be the best version of himself. And that's the one thing I have to give like Coach Andre. Like he's done a really good job of just kind of like letting him have a springboard to try things, like learn, develop, and kind of grow into that point guard role. So I think like going into a senior year, he's going to be a phenomenal prospect.
Yeah, and like you just mentioned, those are always the scariest players. The guys that act like they've been there before, like out of football reference, like Larry Fitzgerald. Every time he scored a touchdown, ball right to the ref. And like he's
Yeah,
been there before. Like if you dunk on somebody and you act all surprised, clearly this is like one of your first times around. If you're dunking on
exactly.
somebody and coming back like it's straight business, like you do this every time down the court, that says something. And those are the scarier guys you have to guard, especially like a guy that has that kind of athleticism. So it's
No, legit.
I would like to talk about Jacob McGregor a little bit, and then we want to dip into Jordan Charles afterwards as well. I know we kind of talked Jordan Charles, me and one of the other scouts, David Harmon. We've kind of gone exhausted Jordan Charles because he's been phenomenal with Team Canada. But let's start off with Jacob McGregor. I'm a big fan of him. Big broad
Yep.
point guard. He's solid. Bill Kreller's OSBA MVP.
Yeah, no, no, McGregor's different, man. I gotta say, like his game, just like what he had 61 in a game this year.
Yeah.
Like he's, like the kid just fills it, like finds a way to fill it up, like every single opportunity. And I mean, like we don't take it lightly when like you have to kind of turn your head a little bit more when you see a grade 12 and not a fifth year winning OSBA MVP. Like
Absolutely.
you look at some of the guys that he beat out for that award. Like we're talking about, like like he beat out Justice Hazley from Royal Crown. He beat up Caleb Roberts, who like I've written about as well. Like
Yep.
there are a lot of
Dante,
guys that Dante, yeah, he beat out
Portland.
yeah, like there's a lot of guys that he beat out for that award, and that's just, I mean, he's got the it factor. He scores it. He genuinely scores it at all three levels. Like I know, even I have to admit, like I throw around that term sometimes, but like we're talking about a kid that will kill you in the mid range. He'll kill you from floater at the basket. He's got the athleticism to punch it on you, and then on top of that too, he fills it up from deep.
Yeah.
And he's crafty as hell, slithery with his handle. And the nice part is he's got a Division 1 frame already. Like he's put on about 10
Absolutely.
pounds of muscle. Like he's put on 10 pounds of muscle in the last like month and a half. Like when I saw him at CNIT, he looked like a completely different prospect. Like he
Yeah.
genuinely, like, and Candle Leak's done a phenomenal job just kind of like letting him like off his leash this summer. Like he's really had an opportunity to just be the best version of himself as a scorer, and then also becoming a lot more willing as a defender. And like he's another name that, like, what, I think he's got 2 or 3 Division 1 offers right now. Like he's a kid who, by the end of the year with Royal Crown, like he could end up having like eight to ten like 8 to 10 schools chasing him down.
Yeah, no, and like going to Royal Crown, I think a great move for him. They got a lot of guys graduating. Justice is gone. A bunch of guys are gone now, so like it's kind of he's coming into like you said, like getting let off the leash. He's got the green light there, and like you said about his frame, like and I saw him at the All Canadian game at the practices on the Friday. He was one of the younger guys there, easily the most in shape guy there. Like, and I'm confident
Oh,
that he's far and away the most in shape, college ready point guard. Like his shoulders were huge. Like I tapped him on the arm and I was like, holy smokes, this kid is like
no,
sturdy as hell. Like it's ridiculous how big he is. And like he's not like big and slow. He's big and quick. Like you said, he can get through. He's got the ball on a string. Like he's a damn good point guard.
no, he's gonna be good, man. My biggest thing for him is I want to see, like, especially like I saw it on the UAA on like some of the games I watched from Canada Elite, and like I saw like the willingness to be the best version of himself on the defensive end. I think if he takes that step like at Royal Crown, I know, like, Coach Mike does a phenomenal job there, and Chris Exelis. So I mean, if he like really gets after it on the defensive end, man, like that's gonna turn those low majors into mid majors like in an instant.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see a lot of guys come in earlier and earlier now. Like Eli Jolin committed already.
Yep.
Handful of other guys have committed. They're slipping my mind right now. But like guys are committing. Evans Barning going to West Virginia.
Yep.
These guys are going early, so I think people are taking notice that like the transfer portal is changing the game. You can't wait till May, June to start like trying to commit. You get a good offer that you like, you can commit right then and there. Like I think is the best option. Like if you feel comfortable with that coach, don't try to collect offers like they're Pokemon cards. Like just get out there
Yep.
and like take an offer. And like like we're seeing now, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And like these guys want to like they'll go to one school by the time they're in their fourth or fifth year, they played at three schools. And it's not like it's not a bad thing. It's just how the landscape of the game's going. And you know that
100%.
being like in the JUCO division, like seeing how like you're basically playing for another Division I school. Like you're playing for a team ball. You're trying to coach team ball at the JUCO level, but these kids are also trying to get theirs and move on up. You can't stay deep.
100%.
So,
Well, that's my advice. Like, it's funny you say this because, like, that is my biggest piece of advice now to like every high school athlete is that you need to constantly be evaluating what your situation is recruitment wise. And I've written a little bit and I've coached Colin Simmons this past year, and like he's my best example with this. Like, Colin's the perfect example of like a very like he could play low major Division I basketball or he could play high major Division II, like good Division II ball.
mhm.
And when he got his IUP offer, like, he took a visit, like, really liked the situation. He's like, Alex, like, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, what do you think? Like, commit. Like, if like I would rather you lock something up and be in a situation that's going to be really good for yourself and they've shown a lot of desire than just walking away, like just saying like, what, like I want to do better, I want to chase higher, but it's not gonna like you're rolling a dice at that point. And
Yeah.
honestly, like the way recruitment is now, you're rolling a 20-sided dice. It's not a you're not flipping a coin anymore when you want to make decisions like that. So it's really about making the right decision for your recruitment in your future and understanding that the landscape changes every month. Like your recruitment can change in a week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like in the same breath, like there's no shame in going to a Division II or Division III school, playing for 4 years, getting your jersey up in the rafters and being part of that culture. Like basketball goes by like this. Like 4 years of school is going to be gone in a blink of an eye. Like you
1,000%.
like people trying to chase these bigger schools, like you're the level that you're getting recruited at. Like even if you're on
Exactly.
the radar, people are going to see you. People are everywhere now, especially with what we're doing with Maple Minute and like all these other outlets that are trying to promote players. Like there's eyes everywhere, and people are talking. And it's a small community. Whether you think it's a huge community with all like 300 plus Division I schools, it's a super small community, and it's a niche thing. So it's yeah, I just think guys gotta not try to chase too much and collect, like you said, and just kind of find the right fit and go there.
Thousand percent.
Before we get into Jordan Charles, I want to get into one of the biggest prospects that I was a fan of this summer was one of your own guys at DC United, Jack Brumley. Is he 6'9" now? How tall
Yeah.
is that? 6'9",
Yes.
phenomenal. When I saw him up in Ottawa, I was like thoroughly impressed. Like I just couldn't believe like this is going to be one of the best bigs in the country in this class, and I'm going to firmly stand on that. I'll die on that hill.
No, I appreciate you saying it. Jack's been so I've coached Jack on and off again for the last 4 years. Like when I was coaching prep, I had him for a year. I had him my first year as like an AAU coach 4 years back, and just watching his progression, like he just he's one of those kids that like he does 3 a day, like he does 3 a days in season. Like he'll go to practice and he's going to go for his lift and then he's going to go do his shooting. Like he has a private shooting coach that he's going to go with after to work on his shot. Like, and like he's a kid who's bought into all of the work that like encompasses becoming a Division I athlete. And I think I agree with you. I think he's going to be knocking on the door of like being one of the best forwards in his class. Physically, like he's almost 220 pounds now. Like at 6'9", like he's got the frame, he's got the athleticism. He's starting to the last live period, he's really starting to like get above the rim now consistently and like trying to like take guys. He's trying to put guys into body bags, which I love to see.
Yep.
And like you talk about having a motor, like like guys who have a motor, like Jack's just a workhorse, man. Like the kid works his tail off on every possession. He's a really humble kid. He has no ego whatsoever. Great family, great like just everything, like all encompassing aspects. Like he's a Division I player. Like he just he's gonna be a Division like in my opinion, he's gonna be a Division I forward easily. He had a really good summer recruitment wise. He's got some really good Division II schools that are like have offered him and are interested in him. And I think the turn for him is just going to be kind of putting it all together now during this last senior season and really like kind of putting his name on the map.
Yeah, no, and he's been on my radar since I've seen a couple posts with DC United, and then just getting to see him in person in Ottawa was great. He does give me vibes of a Ewan Steele. I know Ewan Steele
Yep.
is kind of a quieter kid, comes from a great family just like Jack does. Like just not afraid of the work at all. Zero baggage,
Yeah.
similar like Xavier Blake. So, and he's a legit 6'9", and like, I've seen him in person. He's legit 6'9", big, strong shoulders, and he can shoot the ball too. Like he shot the ball like in warmups. He didn't yank a ton of threes in the games that I saw. I know Miles Hamilton was stroking it from deep, so he was kind of hogging a bit of the shine there. But Jack was doing all the other things right. Like all the little things were getting done right. Every time somebody comes off
100%.
the bench, he's up high fiving them. Like he's not hanging his head. He just seems like a perfect like plug and play. You need size. Every coach always calls us about size. They want a big,
Yep.
and Jack's going to be at the top of my list for recommending guys to Division 1 coaches and all other level coaches too, right? That call out and want to know about bigs because, like we said before the call got on, we're not going to gatekeep anybody's recruitment. No matter who calls, we're going to tell guys about everything we can about the player, get them in contact with different scouts in our team. We got 20 scouts going, so like we're just trying to get eyes on guys like Jack that are kind of flying a little bit under the radar.
No, 100%, man. And I mean, it's funny. Like I always joke around about it, but like, a lot of my guys, like we call it like the iceberg method. It's that, people are only going to get to see the 10% of what you know. And then, this is where I can dive into like the 90% of the stuff that people don't see. And, kid like that, like, that's why I love working with Mabel Minute so much is that, like you can kind of dive a little bit deeper. Like, we all do our digging anyways. So it's kind of a good way to like get guys the right notoriety, get them in front of the right people and, kind of connect them to the best fit at the next level that we just talked about.
No, 100%. So let's get to like the man of the hour, Jordan Charles. This kid
Yeah.
has been incredible for years and years. Yeah, so he had a big summer, like especially with Team Canada. But let's get into what
Yep.
you think about Jordan.
No, Jordan's I'm not gonna lie, man. Like in my opinion, like outside of Miles Sadler, like Jordan Charles is the next best like
Yeah,
guard in this class. And like this is where I'm a big fan of Jordan, is that Jordan, like his bag is scoring, but he finds every other way to impact the game now. Like his playmaking has grown by leaps and bounds. Defensively, he gets after it. He's got a nice long wingspan too. So, he can like clog up passing lanes. He can guard on the ball. He's got like, it's funny. He's another kid who's got like the sneakiest athleticism you'd think, right? Like
mm-hmm.
he, he's dunking consistently in games. And then, just slithery handle. I know he's a really good kid as well. Like I've had a few interactions with him and, just super humble, super easygoing, just loves to hoop and, kind of no nonsense outside of it. And just, see like Bella Vista's done a phenomenal job with him and AZ Unity's done a phenomenal job with him in the last couple of years. And like, I think he's just had that, like, he's just continuously gotten a little bit better every year. And then, you talked about it with Canada Games, like, or when he went for it was the U19s. Like,
Right, yep.
I joke around, man. It was the summer Jordan Charles, man. Like that,
Absolutely.
like, like when you're flying the future number one pick, man, like, and you're not scared of the moment like he was.
Yeah.
Like that's when as a coach, it's like, oh crap, like, you have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
You have it. Like whatever that it is, he has it and he has a lot of it. Like
yeah,
let's go to the next article. We'll just kind of rapid fire some names and maybe talk about a couple of them. You went into the kind of like a who's up next piece. So it's
yes.
they're 2 years removed, 2027's. You did 21 different reports on each guy. So it's incredible work. We're very appreciative of it. Let's talk about some of these guys just off the top of your head that kind of stood out the most.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know like we talked about it kind of prior to getting on the call, but a kid who I really like in this class from Northern Kings and Cali Prep is KJ Perez. Funny enough, he played at Pickering High, which is my alma mater. So it's
Nice.
like I always gotta give a shout out to Pickering. But no, he won an OFSA title this year. He had a great prep season. Another club that's done a really good job of just kind of balancing the like development timeline and having just like strictly playing playing on a grade 11 team of all 2027s this past year. And then, just going into the P32 circuit and, continually shining as an amazing shooter, great scorer. He's got a slithery handle, underrated passing game. And kind of to piggyback off of like his own teammate, Khalil Barrett's another name who,
Yeah.
From that same team that I've seen quite a bit of whenever I've gotten a chance to be in Canada and watch some of the Canadian games. That kid's he's another one who's got the it factor, man. Like that kid is not scared of the moment. I'll tell you that.
He's not scared of shit. He's not scared of anything. That kid's fearless.
No, he's nuts, man. Like I want, I was watching them play up in the RWI tournament, and he went. Jane Kandasamy was another kid who I wrote on. Jane's one of my favorite scorers from the 2025 class. And mind you, Khalil's 2 years younger. Khalil is going at him and Isaiah Oleanu like on every possession. I think he probably rung off like 17 straight points.
Jesus.
And mind you, there wasn't a lick of defense in that game. I think the final score was like 101-99 or whatever it was. But like you talk about a kid who just like gets after it. Like he, like not just as a scorer, but defensively on the glass. Like he really could like he's got a lot of potential at 6'4", being like a division, like, like a potential Division 1, like 2 guard.
Yeah.
And, again, like just seeing the work he's done over the last couple of years, like even when he was in junior prep, like he's just, again, a kid who's slowly developing and is just going to, at some point or another, he's just going to pop.
Yeah. Another guy I like on that list was Stefan Illich. People have seen about Stefan Illich for a while now. He's a monster.
Yeah.
Like he's a monster. He's also another one of those kids that's kind of fitting the theme here, Alex. That we like good kids, like just
Yep.
good, genuine people that can play basketball. If you can play basketball, that seems like it's a plus. If you're a good kid, we're gonna try to find some room for you. Like coaches always want good kids, good glue guys. So what do you like about Stefan?
Steph's a high major, like, Steph is an unquestioned high major talent, in my opinion. He at 6'10", 6'11", he like footwork wise, like I genuinely think that he's gonna be able to guard like 3 through 5 easily at the next level. I found out recently that he played soccer growing up, so it kind of makes sense with all of the how do I put it? It kind of makes a lot of sense now that like his defensively is so good. But I mean, he's a great rim protector. Offensively, like just great shot mechanic, shoots the ball at a good clip, like left hand, right hand in the post. And like again, like just play, like he plays for a coach that played pro and coached pro. Like he's in the perfect environment for him to just continually get be more and more successful. And I talk about like with AAU clubs aligning yourself, like playing at UPlay and their history of developing guys and giving them the leash to be the best versions of themselves. Like he's just gonna that kid's gonna pop, man. Like I could see that kid playing at Arkansas, Kentucky, Alabama, like easily.
Yeah, like it's. He's incredible. I like who else did I like on that list? I like Zach Walker quite a bit. I was a big fan of what I've seen from Favor. Isaiah Luxa. Like who do you want to touch on? We'll get a couple names here. We'll rifle them off quick, and then we'll kind of sign off on this one.
Yeah. So no, I would. Who was the first one you said?
I like Zach Walker quite a bit. I've seen him.
Walker's a bucket, man. Walker's tough. He's got a slithery handle. Great shot mechanics, like just like shoots the piss out of it. He's a very underrated passer. Biggest thing for him, I would say, is just like going to grade 12, you got to start putting on a little bit more size.
Yeah.
He's definitely got to fill out, but I mean, that'll come. Like again, like he comes from a good basketball family, great background. Like he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But just his game is next level. Like the kid sees the game 2 plays ahead.
For a while now. And
he's been like, another one I'd love to touch on is Kamani Walters, just quickly. He going back to Royal Crown, great summer again with Canada Elite. I know he picked up another Division 1 offer. Like that kid is just you talk about kids that play with a motor, man. That kid's nuts. Like he'll he's the kind of kid that like there was a possession I watched, like a 3 possession sequence with Canada Elite this summer. I was watching the film. He gets a steal, comes down, crams it on a guy, gets another steal, passes off for an easy assist. Like I really like what he's like growing into, and he's always played with that edge, but I think he's really starting to become like a lead guard and a lead point guard, and he's got sneaky athleticism. Guards like his life depends on it. Like I think he's going to be a stud coming into his grade 12 season.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's got time for one more name here. Who do you want to highlight on this 2027 list?
I know you've talked about him a few times. Zachary Downer, I'm a big fan of. Yep. Just like 6'5", 6'6". He's got to, like, talk about guys with frames, like just like he's already got like a college ready frame, and he's only going into grade, like he still has 2 years left.
Yeah.
Just like great kid, really developing as a 3-level scorer. He like finishes with either hand, punches it on guys. Like defensively, he's got so much utility. Like he's got the foot speed to guard ones, but he's got the frame to guard up and guard 3s or 4s. Like he really is going to be an intriguing prospect. And I mean, you saw it with Dante this past year. Like I think that's a kid who could follow in those same footsteps of having that size, but also developing into a lead guard.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there, Alex. Where can everybody find you on social media?
So at TMM Cawsey, at Coach Cawsey on Twitter. My biggest thing is, like I tell guys, like just make sure, I'm happy to always connect, happy to talk about your games. Like, whenever you need like a honest appraisal that's kind of outside of your network, like that's kind of why we're here and why I do this. And, my biggest thing is like the Canadian market is so under, like you think it was like by the numbers, it's so like looked at, but it really isn't. Like we do have a ton of Canadian talent. So I'm always looking at I mean, it's the same thing you say, like we're always looking for the next talent. Right. So, just like anyone that wants to connect, I'm always happy to. So at TMM Cawsey and then at Coach Cawsey.
Yeah. So you can find Alex Cawsey's article on our website, themapleminute.com. He's got 2 up there soon as you log on to the site, you'll be able to see it. Like we said, hit us up, hit up Alex, hit up myself, hit up any of the scouts that you see posting content steady throughout the week. We're happy to help. That's what we're here to do, is just help and shine a light on these kids. So stay tuned for the next episode of the Maple Minute. Appreciate you taking the time, Alex. Means a lot, man.
No, for sure, Josh. Appreciate you, bro.